Haomuren sent over this wireless lav mic kit so that I could tell you all about it and get a closer look at it. All right, now let's take a closer look at this wireless mic kit from Haomuren. And the first thing we have here is this nice carrying case. I really like this style of case with products. Just helps keep them all, bundled up together and protected when traveling and things like that. Nice zippered top here. We've got a little pouch at the top, and that includes our user manual here. We'll take a closer look at some of those instructions and use if we need to later. We've also got some cables here. So we've got a single USB-A to dual USB Type-C cable here. That's going to allow us to charge more than one device in this kit at once. Then we've also got a couple of 3.5 millimeter cables here. That is going to allow us to connect to things. This one is a standard 3.5 millimeter TRS cable. And this one here is a TRRS cable. So we've got a couple of connectivity options depending on the type of device we're connecting to, whether that's a cell phone or standard DSLR style camera. All right, now in the bottom section of this case, we've got a nice elastic strap here holding the battery pack and hard case for these microphones. So let's get that out of the way. As you can see here, really nice glossy plastic body to this. I like the look of it. I like the green color that they've got on here. Just kind of a cool futuristic look. Inside here, you can see those wind screens here that are kind of smushed up against the plastic on the inside. Then we've got some information here on the back and our USB Type-C charging port out back as well. Now, flipping this lid open shows us the components inside. Let's set that down here and take a closer look. So, like I mentioned, we do have a couple wind screens here, and these are just going to clip on to each of the microphones. We'll show that process here in just a moment. But we've also got our microphones and receivers. So we have two wireless microphones here. You can see here we've got the pair. Let's put one of them down. On the front here, we've got some indicators that light up depending on their status. First one up is the wireless connection to the receiver. Then we've got our vlog microphone indicator, our stream mode, and our charging status. Up top here, you can see the microphone itself, and that's where the windscreen is just going to clip on over the top. Nice and easy, just kind of clips on there, and that protects you from getting any wind noise when you're outside or in a windy environment overall. Those come off super easy as well. They just snap off just like that. Now, on the side of the microphone, we have our decibel button here so that we can adjust the decibel settings here depending on the type of device we have connected. And then we also have our power button here as well. Over on the other side, we've got that USB Type-C charging port, and then we also have a out port here so that we can listen in real time to the audio coming into these microphones. At the bottom, we have the two contacts here for the wireless charging when it is placed inside the base, which is a really nice feature as well. Out back, we've got a simple clip here so that we can clip these onto a shirt or a hat or whatever makes the most sense. These also are rotatable, so depending on the orientation that you need, these can rotate around, which is a really nice and handy feature in my opinion. Now, the receiver is very similar in size and layout to those microphones, but instead we have a status indicator here on the left, a charge indicator, and then a status for microphone 1 and 2, which is really handy. Up top, we have our charging port here, which also uses a USB Type-C connection, and then our power button. One side also has a line out of USB Type-C connectivity, as well as that same monitoring option here that you're actually going to use to connect to a camera if that is the device type that you're going to use. And then at the bottom, again, we have the standard charging ports. Out back, again, that same style of clip that rotates. Now, when we talked about that receiver, there was that line out option, and included with this kit are two 90-degree adapters. One is a Type-C to Type-C for use with obviously Type-C devices, Android phones, things like that. But then there's also a 90-degree Type-C to Lightning adapter for Apple devices. So you've got a ton of compatibility with a ton of different device types with this microphone kit. All right, now as you can see here, I have one of the lapel microphones attached to my collar. So we are recording to this camera with these wireless microphones. Now the transmitters and receiver both utilize 2.4 gigahertz wireless for their communication, and you can use this wireless mic kit with not only a standard camera, but also Android and Apple devices that use USB Type-C and Lightning connectors if you utilize those included adapters. You've also got Bluetooth connectivity if you want to go totally wireless with this setup. Now, battery life is pretty good. You've got about 10 hours of continuous usage, but you can charge and use these at the same time if you have that type of need. They charge up though in about 2 hours, and you've got about 36 hours of just like standby time if you had them turned on and just not using them. Now you've got some noise cancellation with these microphones if you want it. Plus there's 2 modes, but I really only used the vlogging style because it doesn't add any reverb or anything. If you switch over to the streaming mode on these, I wasn't really happy with it because it was way too much reverb on there, and I just couldn't understand why you would want to have that on your original recording. So I am just recording right now in the vlog setting. All right, so hopefully this has given you a good idea of what these microphones sound like and what you can expect from them if you were to pick them up. Now, there's a ton of cool features with this wireless lav mic kit from Haomuren, and if you're looking for a new one, or maybe your first one, I definitely recommend taking a closer look at this one. Now, as always, if you want to try out these mics for yourself, I've got a link down in the description below.